The first time I put the Deadpool suit on, I had many mixed emotions about it. I was thinking not more of myself, I was thinking more of how the world would see me.
Yeah, look, he is known to us. He came to our attention last year and he was dealt with by our officers for that and found himself before the court.
It's another beautiful day in tropical far north Queensland. The temperature's rising, the sun's out, and so are the guns.
There's different types of kids. There's the shy, timid kid, and then there's the kids who get excited and jump up like, oh my God, it's Spider-Man! Or I get those confrontational kids that try to shoot me. I'm just like, yeah, no, Deadpool doesn't die.
Assaults and property thefts have risen in Cairns in each of the past 3 years.
We're the same as any other regional city. Our primary issue is property crime.
There are a lot of car thefts, bashings, with a few stabbings. I patrol mostly in the district of Cairns, like just around the CBD area. The only thing that goes through our mind is what's going to happen tonight.
I'd rather people left that work to the police. And certainly we appreciate people being, our eyes and ears, but people can do that without the need to get into costume.
Originally from Perth, things haven't always been easy for 17-year-old Jake, who moved to Cairns with his mum a few years ago.
Oh, at school, I was probably the typical cliche loner kid, basically. I was always doing my own thing, this subconscious type thing, like anxiety, doubt, what if I'm the biggest idiot out there and stuff, and probably I'm the most weirdest child that's ever walked the earth type thing until when I first put on the Deadpool suit, because my confidence boost has been rising ever since.
He isn't everybody's hero, but he's definitely my hero. I'm his #1 fan.
Bethany first met Jake on one of his patrols, but on their first date, Jake found himself on the wrong side of the law.
We decided to go for a first date to see Thor Ragnarok. At the cinemas, I went in my costume because that's my thing. I go to every movie dressed as Deadpool.
A number of people were quite distressed after sighting him in there. They weren't aware of the actual character of Deadpool.
Which concerned the police to dispatch 6 units of police and terrorist investigators up towards the scene.
To them, it was just this person fully covered and brandishing weapons.
2 policemen and 2 police women approached with their hands to their guns. I was handcuffed and thrown at the back of the police van and ended up in the courthouse.
Jake was found guilty of public nuisance, fined $500, and placed on a 9-month good behaviour bond.
I think he's got a lot of courage. Getting out in public like that is not something that I could have possibly done at that age. It's a two-edged sword, I guess, with these things. I mean, he must expect a certain degree of attention, obviously, by the way he's dressed.
But last month, he got a lot more attention than he bargained for.
I was waiting at the bus stop to go into town, do my usual rounds, and the dude came out of his house asking about my origin. Like, are you really Australian? We don't want you here. To go to your own country.
I was advised of a situation out at Yorkeys Knob, and I viewed the footage, as many no doubt have. And it was quite distressing.
He gave me a few shoves and all that, kind of tried to push him in and ended up dragging him to the ground.
He did exercise a great deal of restraint. He protected himself as he's lawfully entitled to do. It appears from that he was just the victim of unwarranted attention from essentially a drunken fool.
I think the Power Rangers winning.
I'm not usually the one that uses violence, so I try to be more resilient. I don't know what went with me that day, honestly.
Once it was all pretty much done and dusted, I mean, he even had the good grace to bend down, pick up the guy's thongs from on the ground and actually presented them back to him, which, it was pretty noble of him when you viewed it in its entirety.
But no matter what he faces, Bethany's there to support him every step of the way.
He's witty, he's funny. He's always been the nurturer, really, even to people that he doesn't know.
I'm very lucky to have her. She sticks by me no matter what happens.
So what's next in the script for this late-night superhero?
Well, if anyone wants to, join us in the fight against crime, certainly we'd encourage them to apply, make application to become a police officer.
I have thought about being a police officer, but I just want to be a nice guy to help out the community, to bring smiles to people, not bring fear onto them. I could be still doing this 30 years down the track, probably. Might be in a different location, or I could somehow just lose interest and give it up straight away.
Nobody goes out of their way to make people smile, but he does, and that's so sweet in my eyes.